All right, what we got next, man?
Let's head to the Big Ten, and let's touch on a team that we did not get to in our Big Ten power rankings, and that's the Washington Huskies.
We're heading to the Fish Bowl.
Heading to the Fish Bowl up in the Pacific Northwest. 10th best odds to win the Big Ten, 55-1, with a win total of 7.5. So that tells you anything right there. Like, I know I bagged on the Big Ten for not being super deep, but like a team that's more than halfway, like in the lower half, has a win total of 7.5. That's pretty solid. Can they get a breakout season from Damon Williams Jr., who's going to be their quarterback?
They can.
Yeah, he's got, from everything we've read, from everything we've watched, all the highlights, the tape, he looks like he could be one of this season's breakout players. And later on in the season, we're going to come out with, some of our rankings of the top 12, positions and all that. He's not going to be a top 12 quarterback. I'm going to go ahead and spoil that. But top 12 breakout players, like, he most certainly will make that list.
Yeah, he'll be towards the top of that list, man.
Yeah.
And they've got, like I said, they're replacing both coordinators. So Brendan Carroll, Pete Carroll's son, went to the NFL to coach with his pops with the Raiders. And then defensive coordinator Steve Belichick went to coach with his pops at North Carolina.
A lot of nepotism up there.
Yeah, exactly. They're bringing in Ron Walters, who I know he wasn't a good head coach at Purdue, but the dude was a really good defensive coordinator at Illinois.
Some guys are just designed to be coordinators.
Yeah, they were one of the better defenses in all of college football.
Yeah,
that year when he was DC. So I like the hire there. And then Jedd Fisch stayed loyal and is given a great shot to a long-time journeyman. Hey, real quick, look at the bottom of this screen and hit that subscribe button for us, please. And also follow us on Apple and Spotify. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us out a ton. We greatly appreciate it. He's called plays before in the past, but he's been with Jedd Fisch for a few years now, and it's OC Jimmy Doherty. Dude, I looked up his resume. He has been a quarterback's coach for many years in the past. He was a QB's coach for Sark back in the day at Washington. He's coached under coaches like Sark and Chip Kelly and now Jedd Fisch. Really good offensive minds. Just like we talk about some of these coaches that coach defense, and there's the head coach. And we always say, I'm not really worried about the defense under that coach. I'm not worried about the offense under Jedd Fisch. What his turnaround, what he did with Noah Fafita there and Jaden DeLaura at Arizona, which, by the way, Jimmy Doherty was with him there as well and was the QB's coach for both of those quarterbacks I just named. I just think with the talent that they're going to have on offense, I mean, dude, one of the most exciting trios that the rest of the country doesn't know about yet, but they will soon, is Damon Williams, Jonah Coleman, and Denzel Boston.
Does it feel like Washington? I mean, it feels like we're back 2 years ago in the Pac-12 where they're just not getting the respect that they're due, and that's including from us too.
Yeah, dude. People just, I don't know, man. It's just they're up in the Pacific Northwest. I really don't know the geography. I really don't. But I think it's more so the epidemic that you and I have talked about with college football, that if you didn't go 10-2 or 11-1 or some big time, just like crazy team last year, there's no way you could be good again this year.
Yeah.
Like every time, dude, that we post any of these rankings to our social medias or some of these reels that we post to our social medias, and all of these fans that get in there and comment and act like that this team's, there's no way they went 7-5 last year. They went last year. Key phrases, guys, are last year.
Yeah.
Ask Florida State last year what last year meant to them when they went 13-0 in the regular season, and last year they only won 2 games. And this year, in this era of college football, in the NIL and transfer portal era, year to year, rosters flip, coaches flip, so many things can change.
Yeah.
Damon Williams was a young freshman last year and kind of took over at the end of the year for Will Rogers at quarterback. Now he's year 2 there. Jedd Fisch was in his first year as the head coach there, speaking of year 2 somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, I just think this Washington team, man's got a chance to seriously make some noise. And they're another one. They are freaking death at home, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about the schedule. Let's first talk about that setting that we, out there in Seattle, right there.
Husky Stadium,
water.
man.
They're going to go sailgating. And they have been very dangerous at home all the way back to, I mean, shoot, even when Chris Peterson was there, he didn't have the greatest record, but they were really good at home there. Obviously, Kalen DeBoer followed it up. They're tough, man. And they get 3 games. Their 3 toughest games by far are at home this year.
Yep.
They get Ohio State, Illinois, and Oregon at home. Now, you get those on the road, like I mentioned a lot last year. Like you get those on the road, it's like, okay, let's chalk those up as 3 losses. You'd almost rather get them out of the way and get some easier games to just guarantee yourself wins at home. Of course, nothing's a guarantee this year, but like Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon, say you get 2 of those. Like, and Oregon's at the end of the year. They got a new quarterback in Dante Moore. Ohio State, like, that's going to be one of their first road games of the season, and they're going to have a new quarterback. And they're traveling all the way from Ohio, 3 different time zones.
We saw that last year, man, how that was a problem for teams traveling 3 or 4 time zones. Like the record against the spread and all that was awful.
And I don't think Ohio State had to do that at all last year. Like, and I mean, they went to Oregon and they lost.
Oregon.
But yeah. So like Ohio State, Illinois, Oregon at home. Now they do have a tough road game at Michigan. Michigan's looking to be better, but I'm just saying, like, you get a couple of those games, and again, Lance talked about the magic number is 10 wins. You find some way to 10 wins if you're in the SEC and the Big Ten, and you can find yourself sitting there really pretty at the end of the year.
I'm going to remind everybody one thing, too, about this same coach here and this most of the same staff here. A couple of years ago, your boy here was all over him, gave him out of his season win total over 6.5. And I think Arizona ended up winning 10 games that year in the Big 12. Nobody thought they were going to be worth a piss that year either. And I agree with you, man. This coaching staff and the quarterback that they're going to have, if they can stay healthy, they're going to be a tough out, man, and a problem for a lot of teams in the Big Ten this year.